Okay, so I'm live. All right. Here, let me make sure I get a few things taken care of here real quick so I don't have to hear certain things real quick. So I'm watching other shows on YouTube, right? And I was watching JD from New York, and I'm watching another one, and I'm listening to somebody. You don't watch wrestling then, and you don't watch the after interviews. You don't sit down and watch the after interviews, my friend. You need to watch Barstool Wrestling. You need to take in a lot of what's going on. Tony Khan actually has a writing staff for Collision. Actually, Danielson is actually going to be a producer. A Steel's going to be a producer. Also, there's a few others in there that are also doing stuff. So he has a writing team for Collision when it does come out. Will Washington is also helping with that. So to a lot of you that have been sitting on the internet, the interwebs, not doing your research, you should start doing your research. Personally, offensively and defensively. Seriously, do your research. Because Will Washington is one of the writers of Collision. Like I said before, you could disagree with me. You don't have to like Will Washington, but he was hired for that reason. Like I said, you got a lot of different people. BJ Whitmore, fortunately got fired this week. So that's what happened there. The reason I'm covering wrestling right now and the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is because, AEW killed it tonight. Did a really good thing with Adam Cole and MJF. MJF is a, ratings driver, but he needs star power behind him to make that happen though. A lot of the things with MJF has not been that great. His title reign has not been that great. And I agree with that. He needs star power behind it. Now we're starting to need to get the star power. Like for instance, we are getting the MJFs versus the Adam Coles. We're getting the things that need to happen because when he goes against a big star, right? We're saying a big star like Adam Cole, right? Ratings draw immediately in the key demographics. For that section, it's been proven in the ratings that Adam Cole or any big star that goes against MJF literally is a ratings draw. That's just a fact. You can go look that shit up. The segments that they opened in from The Big Bang Theory to literally no joke into MJF ratings draw literally against CM Punk when they opened up and did the things. Now I will say some of the things tonight weren't that great. I will honestly tell you, like, not everything was all peaches and herbs, you know what I mean? But for people to sit here and say about AEW, oh, well, WWE does certain things better. Yes, they are improving. Yes, they're getting better. Yes, the tag team division has a few tag teams right now. The Alpha Academy, I've said this in my streams, Alpha Academy should take out Sammy and KO, honestly, at this point. They are piping hot with Maxine Dupree. I think if they want to go that way with Chad Gable and Otis, they could do that. Sami Zayn and Kevin necessarily don't need the titles to be relevant. They can lose that at Money in the Bank. They can lose that at SummerSlam and give Gable his moment that he should have had. He should have had years ago. Seriously, years ago. So again, I mean, I'm not really truly in love with KO or Sammy at all. I think they could be great, doing their things. That's why I think they should split the titles. I think they should have undisputed champions on SmackDown, put them on SmackDown, and then have world championship belts. And I've already seen the leaks on the championship belts. So, like I said before, I'm not too excited. But I like what they're doing personally. Let's see here. Let's make sure here that I got where I need to go. Here, my notes. Again, 30-minute, they extended it. Again, like I said before, Adam Cole's great shit. Adam Cole was going to win this match anyway. Were you guys surprised? Like, again, Adam Cole is going to go against MJF at a future date, possibly Forbidden Door. That's what they're going to do this for. I'm assuming, and then I would have Adam Cole go over at this point. Why you put Adam Cole in this position, have this comeback story, and then have him lose? Again, AEW with their booking. Now, I've been hearing wins and losses don't matter. Yeah, that's true, but they've been doing really good booking decisions. They've been booking a lot better than WWE's repeat shit. Now WWE is realizing they have to book somewhat, and I like the fact Triple H is stepping in and going, hey, look, you know, at the end of the day, we have to take control of this. You know what I mean? So, again, I like the fact Triple H is now overriding Vince McMahon and his calling. That's why we get the Alpha Academy doing what they're doing. That's why we're getting Maximum Male Models getting a repackage and redone. I think that's perfect. I think they could be a heel group. Again, they were great when they were in NXT, but, you know, again, like I said, I'm talking WWE and AEW because a lot of people compare to me both of these companies, and again, I'm so tired of hearing about wins and losses. I'm so tired. Like, you need to do research. Some of y'all need to do your research in the matter of things, man. When it comes to, like, you got to sit down and watch the Barstool AEW Tony Khan. Listen from the horse's mouth where he talks CM Punk. He talks about writing. He talks about booking. He talks about how they're bringing in people to Collision to make Collision happen. Like, again, you know, a lot of you don't understand that. And I just wish some of you would go and watch these interviews. I wish some of you would go and listen to what's happening. You could talk about wins and losses. You could talk about all that, but you're not watching what Tony Khan is saying on Busted Open or on Barstool Wrestling. Again, he talked about Forbidden Door and how they're doing it. He talked about CM Punk coming in and what his goals and his intent are with this. He talked about a lot of stuff. Like, you guys got to listen to it. Like, I watch everything they do with the news when it comes to wrestling, man. I don't cover all of it because I've been so busy doing other things, and, you know, and the rebranding and all this shit. But, you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to wrestling, man, literally, no joke, you guys gotta take a chill pill on the whole idea of wins and losses and what AEW is doing is not good. But AEW is doing what they can. Again, Tony Khan is doing what they can, and I think he's more focused on Forbidden Door and Collision. Collision has to knock it out of the park, and like I said, they have to do it this weekend. And they got 3 days for that show to come on, and they got to kill it. They have to, so he's putting everything into this. Warner and Discovery are. You gotta give these guys chances, man. I'm gonna be watching just like you, and I'm gonna be reviewing after the fact. But honestly, at the end of the day, you guys gotta chillax on the whole idea of this stuff happening. Like, I'm being for real. Like, some of you gotta chillax, chill, take chill pill. Have faith in Tony Khan. A lot of you are already counting the chickens before they hatch. Good Lord, stop it. Stop it. Seriously, like, for real. Like, I'm not an AEW mark or anything like that, but I'm just telling you guys, have some faith. Like, seriously, like, right now they're doing a lot better job than WWE when can't get their titles right. Like, I mean, come on now. I will give AEW their credit. If they did a brand split and they have titles, we're going to find out. Another thing Tony Khan needs to do is he needs to come out and be true. Like, even during the Barstool interview, I kind of rolled my eyes and I went, you know, with the brand split, I'm like, he's going to decide what wrestlers do what, and then he's going to have certain people write certain things for certain things. So he's kind of letting the reins of the writing, the booking, kind of with Will Washington and a lot of them, you know what I mean? So you guys got to give it an opportunity. Yeah, BJ Whitmore produced a lot of good shit, but he also was actually a pile of crap. He deserved to be fired over the week for what he did, so it is what it is. But yeah, let's see. And Jerry Lynn is also helping. You got a lot of people from New Japan helping out with who's the guy for Chaos? that's also producing with AEW as well. You also got Sanjay Dutt. You got a lot of people behind AEW. Like, I love how people say it's only Tony Khan that writes this shit. If you go watch All Access, you go watch the Barstools, go watch the stuff. Tony Khan says it's a collaborative effort, but he has the final call and everything. Again, what is that anything different than what Vince McMahon is doing with being on remote calls with WWE and him and Triple H making those final calls? What does that have to do with anything else? You know what I mean? Like, I love how like you guys, I love how the average wrestling fan doesn't do their research on things and don't realize that Tony Khan's been on the record saying this, that it's a collaborative effort. That he takes from Danielson, he takes from Samoa Joe. Like, these people are helping produce your show that we come to watch every week. I don't understand why I'm having this conversation about this stuff, but I was watching other places, and a lot of this, Tony Khan is bad for your health, he's going to strap thin, the NFL season, and all this shit, and Tony Khan can't do anything right, and it's like, guys, he's producing. If you think Rampage is a failure, then why in the holy fuck do you think Warner Brothers Discovery are happy with the ratings? If they're happy with the ratings, they're doing something right. They're happy with Dynamite. They're happy with this. All you apologists out there for wrestling, man, need to chillax on that shit. Because when you ratings, key demographics, they're getting the key demographics that they want. Obviously, in your logic, to those people, in your fucking logic, okay? Dynamite and Rampage would be canceled completely. In your eyes, Rampage would just be canceled completely. Fuck it. Ring of Honor would be canceled and complete because of ratings. That's what I love how the average wrestling fan thinks that way, man. For real, for real. Like, stop it. Do your research. Because if you do your research and you realize, real quickly, you would realize that Warner Brothers Discovery has been on the record saying they're happy with their ratings the way they are. They are in the key demographics in the overall in ratings. They have talked about they are in the top. They're in the top 5. So stop it. I don't want to hear another person talk about ratings unless you have real proof and real facts. Facts are facts. I go off of what the horse's mouth says. To Warner Brothers Discovery, they're happy with the product. So am I. That was like me doing a video and then hearing all these, these wrestling fans. I love them. I love the tribalists. I love how they go, oh, well, WWE was down 400,000 views. Oh, that doesn't matter. That don't matter. But, AEW is down like this amount of views. It's a problem. AEW is dying. Who watches that bullshit? Like, come on. You cannot sit here and tell me that same shit. Sorry to tell you that. Sorry, not sorry, Nate, sorry. Anyway. Yes, and we are reviewing Dynamite for 6/14/2023. This is going to be a long show because I got a lot to talk about. And AEW literally doing the things they need to do tonight. Sammy Guevara returns. Yes, this promo and this segment with... again... with Darby Allin. Sorry, I just lost train of thought. My bad. Darby Allin in my notes. Honestly, to be real with you, because I have a wrestling site's notes and then I have my own notes. So I take I take from a live journalist site and then I take from what I write. So I make sure I'm on par with what's going on and what people are saying. And I always, before I go live, I make sure I watch what others are saying about the shows. Because a lot of the contention is like from JD from New York, they're pretty happy what's going on. A lot of others, I'm hearing the same shit. Oh, Tony Khan's gonna be strapped in and, the NFL season and all this shit. And it's like, dude, you need to do your research. Some of these channels need to go and do some research. It does my head in. That's why I don't watch those shows anymore. It's like, dude, you do my fucking head in from the minute go. Holy shit. Do research. Like, if you follow the news, If you follow the AEW news, you know what's going on. Also, too, if you didn't know, Ryback's proposing to Tony Khan on Twitter for a match between him and Goldberg. Have you been following that saga? Because Booker T got in on the action, and it looks like it's going to be Booker T versus fucking Ryback at a fucking undisclosed location. They're going to fight each other. Ryback's talking about making a comeback. If you guys haven't heard that, now you have. So there's that. If you guys haven't been following the wrestling news, man, like I said before, like, it pays to pay attention. It pays to pay attention on Twitter. It pays attention. Pay attention. AEW's got a big thing going on here. I'm more focusing on Forbidden Door. They can make as much dream. Like, why are people needing a build for this shit? Why do you need a build for this? You can implant Okada, Tamahashi. You could put all these New Japan guys in, like Will Ospreay, and boom, 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 and make 5-star matches happen. Forbidden Door is more of a dream match fest than it is actual booking. Because New Japan guys are not coming back. Ladies are not coming back the next week to do shows for AEW. They're not doing storylines, so they're doing one-offs. That's all Forbidden Door is. It's pretty much just a ratings draw for the hardcore fan. If you really want to go there, they could just pencil and do what they need to do. End of story. Why does there need to be build? They can tell stories on the fly. And God, you're gonna get mad at people are gonna get mad over like fucking multiverse this year for fucking Impact Wrestling. Like, guys, I told you this all the time. Impact Wrestling, killing it. Guys should be watching that shit. Tell you guys all the time, watch Impact Wrestling. You want good shit, and you think AEW and WWE are not doing it right? Go watch Real Booking. Long-term story fucking booking. That is the truth. Can't tell you that enough. But yeah, AEW tonight, man, really did some things that I liked, some things I didn't like, to be honest with you. But long-term booking. WWE is starting to realize they got to start doing long-term booking. And no, I want Cody to lose. I want Cody to keep losing. Kids are loving him losing. Have him keep losing in WWE. For all I'm concerned. It's working for him. And then have him win. Start going on that path of dominance of winning. That's what you do. I just don't want to hear no more. I don't want to hear from you wrestling fans no more about goddamn Cody needs this. Cody needed that championship belt. No, he didn't. He's losing anyway. Moving on up. We had international champion Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Sting, and Keith Lee. We're getting Keith Lee. I thought this would have gone to the Mogul Embassy because they're setting up for Orange Cassidy to lose the belt. I really think Swerve Strickland is doing amazing things in AEW. Again, and also too, like, why not you have Swerve Strickland win this to reignite that feud with Keith Lee on Collision? That's what you do. That's what you need to do. And you have Swerve go over. You have Swerve go over, and then you have Keith Lee. You keep that feud going where you have that rubber match, and then you have Keith Lee become your next international champion. That's what you do. That's how you continue a feud. But Tony Khan don't feel that way, and they kind of dropped the ball with this one. I will admit some of the things Tony Khan has done is not great. These are one of them. I have not said everything AEW does is grass is greener on the other side. But I will take their booking over WWE's booking any day of the week. I will actually take Impact. Yes, Impact before WWE or AEW combined. Seriously, Impact Wrestling. I will promote that shit until I'm blue in the fucking face. Sorry to tell you. And MLW's booking. It's too sweet. It's serious. Like if you watch the products on TV, and a lot of people only watch the mainstream stuff. They don't watch the Impact because they think Impact is garbage. People think that's just the way it is. That's why Impact Wrestling's ratings are so below dog shit. Because a lot of people go and they watch the AEWs or the WWEs and then they just sit here and they go, well, you know, Impact doesn't have the production, so I'm going to quit on it. But you're not watching for the storylines. Like right now, what's going on with Trinity is great. What's going on with Macklin is great. Sets up a feud with Bully Ray. You know, again, you guys got to watch this shit, man. Like, against all odds, if you didn't watch that pay-per-view last week, you're in a different planet to me. Like, it blows my goddamn mind how many people talk shit on Impact and still think it's a Dixie Carter Rand product. Like, seriously. Like, seriously shit. I beg you differ. But anyway, let's get more into this AEW show. AEW tonight, I'm going to give you my honest opinion. It's a B-. I will always give AEW a B- until they do something that wows me to death. MJF and Adam Cole, this was predictable. You knew where this was going. You knew from the beginning, middle, and end where the fuck it was going. Sorry to tell you that. Another thing I will tell you guys straight up out the gate, too. I just love how people just don't do research when it comes to AEW, man. I don't understand it. You need to be watching these interviews because it's very fascinating. And I sit and I watch a lot of YouTube, dude. Like in the morning hours when I'm working out, I'm sitting and I'm starting to work out, right? So when I'm doing laps at the pool, I have AEW up on my phone, you know, and I'm listening to the interviews, I'm listening to the news stories, I'm listening to the Wrestling Observer, I'm listening to 5 different shows while I'm working out, and then also I listened to the Tony Khan interview today when I was somewhat working out, and you know, it's just interesting to hear his mindset, how he delegates things. So he's virtually doing what Triple H and Vince McMahon are doing, but different. You know what I mean? And here's the other thing is like, people are getting upset over the idea of Vince McMahon doing the booking. But here's the thing, as I've been saying before, Vince McMahon gets to put little sprinkles of things in, right? Not everything Vince McMahon does or says, right, goes to fruition, right? At the end of the day, Triple H has the last say in booking. So do we say the same thing about Triple H? Oh, he's running thin because he's running NXT. And no, we don't. NXT, Triple H gets the final call. NXT, WWE and SmackDown, he runs virtually 3 shows. Should I say the same thing about Triple H with a heart condition? Should I say the same shit? Like, damn. Again, I will say this to you guys, and I'll say this all day. Watch Impact Wrestling. That'll be the thing. Again, we had Wardlow with Anderson defeating Jake Hager to retain. Do we give a shit about this? This is a throwaway match. This is why I give AEW B- matches. Like, I love seeing Jake Hager on TV, but you just feeding him to Wardlow, and that's just the way it goes. Wardlow is going to beat him anyway to retain him with Arn Anderson. They cut a promo like, I don't want Christian Cage. Like, to me, Christian Cage, I don't care for Christian Cage. Luchasaurus is being buried by Christian Cage. I want to see Luchasaurus turn on Christian Cage and just go for the TNT belt at this point. I think this is where some of Tony Khan's booking could be better. Like, I could care less that fucking Luchasaurus and Christian cut a fucking promo on a screen. Who gives a shit? Again, we're not going to get Adam Cole and MJF until probably the next pay-per-view, probably. I think that's what they're going to go for, probably at All In, most likely. I guess they... I got up at certain points, so bear with me. Again, Tamahashi, wants a title shot, so I guess he's going to get that against MJF, I believe, at Forbidden Door. Tamahashi's not winning that AEW belt. Just I keep that fantasy out of there, you know what I mean? So he wants Zack Sabre Jr., Orange Cassidy. So just let you guys know, Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door 2. It's going to be a great match. Are they going to play off of the injuries and stuff that Orange Cassidy has? That's going to be the question. And again, I see Swerve Strickland being your next champion. There's no doubt about that. If they don't make him a champion by All In, I'll be just so disappointed because Swerve, there's story there with Keith Lee. Again, I've said this. Orange Cassidy, I love the fact that they have him doing the open challenge thing every freaking week and showing his face every week. But give us a break for 2 weeks. Like, let it breathe. So I really hope Orange Cassidy does lose the belt. I really do. I'm saying by All In. I say him and Strickland have a match for the ages. Strickland and Orange Cassidy put on matches that are 5-star. I don't care. I don't care what people say to me. 5-star matches. I say All In. It'll be a match of the year candidate. Him and Strickland. They can go the distance, 30 minutes, and literally it could be a great match. Strickland needs a match of the year. Again, Tony Storm versus Sky Blue. Did you think Sky Blue was going to win that match? I could have told you this. Storm and Soho, you know, again, like, and I know I'm just going through these matches, but again, Sky Blue, great shit, but too soon. AEW does not have value in Sky Blue, and I can tell you that. Here's how the women's division needs to do, and I said this, and I'm going to break this down for you. Here's the women's division for you in AEW. There is no ring general. There is no leader of that division. I'm sorry. Tony Storm ain't it, Chief. I'm telling you this. They need to bring in Monet. I'm sorry to tell you this. Monet needs to be the one that does the revolution for AEW. It should have been Britt Baker. Yo, thank you for that. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Anyway. Or was that a sub? I mean, that was a sub. But I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Anyway. Again, like I said before, if you guys are new to the channel, I rebranded because I lost my Discord account, so I had to rebrand. So I apologize. I used to be Ray From, so keep that in mind. I want to make this clear. Again, personal opinion. Take my shit with a grain of salt. And yes, I've watched a lot of shows this week, and a lot of these people, man, just don't know how wrestling works or news stories, man. It boggles my mind. I stopped doing news stories because I was doing so many of them on my channel, but there's that. So we'll get back into some gaming here in a minute, but I'm just covering wrestling for a second. Again, like I said, I don't have any overlays. I just did this as a shoot. I just went for it and called it a day. Yo, thanks for all those hosts on Trovo. But yeah, just to say this, Tony Storm ain't it, Chief. She ain't the ring general. She ain't the leader of the division. This is where you bring in Sasha Monet. Or sorry, Mercedes Monet. Excuse me, and I just belched my dinner. This is where you bring Monet in. This is where you bring Monet in. This is where you bring Jordan Grace in. This is where you bring in Diana Purrazzo when her contract ends. Those will be your pillars of your women's division. You bank it off, and then when Trinity's contract, you damn well for sure offer her a huge deal. There's no doubt about it. You need to bring these splash names in because it ain't working. AEW's farm system for the women's division ain't it. And again, now they're put themselves in a predicament with Jade. Where do you put Jade? I really think you put Jade on, and I'm going to say this, Jade gets put on Collision. I think you have 2 women's championship belts, but they don't have a women's division. That's the problem here. So who do you go out? You got to start going out. You got to start, they kind of gave it to us tonight with Sky Blue. They are trying to build within. The problem is it's a little too late for that. They got to sign juicy names now. It's kind of like my Lakers. My Lakers need to sign some juicy names at this point. Like, they're going to bring in Hachimura. They're going to bring in Austin Reeves. But they're going to have to bring in Bradley Beal would be perfect for our team for the future. You could have Austin Reeves. You can have Hachimura. And I know I'm going off topic here, but you guys get the point where I'm coming from, man. You guys get it. Like, as wrestling fans, like, look, the AEW needs a women's division, and they just don't have it. Jade ain't the future. Jade's matches were all garbage. If you want to go there, they were all throwaway matches, most of them. Jade did show glimpse of somewhat good shit, but not all the time. Again, Britt Baker ain't the future. Britt Baker should be leading that division. Britt Baker should be winning titles like Charlotte fucking Flair. That is just blasphemy. Blasphemy to me. How Charlotte Flair Just goes in and commands a locker room, where Britt Baker don't. That's the thing Britt Baker needs to do. Is Britt Baker needs to stop talking and take control of her own division, because she says she's a pillar. Then go be a pillar. Go win titles. I don't know why she's doing the whole lovey-dovey thing with fucking Hater. She should have turned on Hater already. Should have been winning titles already again. We should be talking about her being a 5-time champion already. Like, Britt Baker is good shit when Britt Baker wants to turn it on. That's a fact. That ain't me shitting on her. That's me just giving you a fact. Facts are facts. Am I wrong? Am I wrong for saying that? Britt Baker should be your ace in the hole. She should be handed everything in AEW possible. She's not handed. She's sitting and being a manager where she should be fighting. They should have that rubber match already with Saraya. Saraya should have lost. Saraya should be losing. Saraya is a bust for AEW. I like Saraya. I thought Paige was great in WWE. But Paige in AEW, Saraya is a bust. Sorry to tell you, she's a bust. All the money they put into her is a joke. She hasn't done. What have you done? She wants to be on All In. What have you done for me lately? Exact shit. That's what you've done. She is literally the Kwame Brown of AEW. Kwame, if you guys don't know who Kwame Brown is, he was the worst thing the Lakers could have done back in the day. And I'm a diehard Lakers fan, and I hear his name being mentioned by some of my friends sometimes when they watch his little show that he has. He's garbage. He wasn't relevant to begin with. He got lucky. He was just paired with good stars like Kobe Bryant and Shaq and things like that. He wasn't great. Kwame Brown wasn't good shit. Don't give me this Kwame Brown bullshit. Kwame Brown, and what was the other one? Who was the other one that came in? Greg Oden? Remember Greg Oden? That is literally Saraya of their division right now. And Jade. Jade has been a she was given a title, but she needed to be this is the thing I said in my stream too the other day, is I appreciate WWE for what they do, right? Jade would have been an NXT star for about 2 years before they put her on the main roster and made her into something. This is the thing I give WWE credit on. Now, hear me out. Rampage is going to be their feeder system. However you want to slice it and dice it. Rampage is going to be their feeder system. I wouldn't be surprised if they go with Rampage and they call it Rampage Ring of Honor. Or Ring of Honor Rampage. Keep the name. And they just feed Ring of Honor through it. Or they keep it Rampage, and what they do is they just literally just feed Ring of Honor storylines through it with titles. And just call Rampage the new Ring of Honor and just call it a day. Because again, as I was been saying from the beginning of the show, Warner Brothers Discovery is happy with the ratings of that show. And again, they're happy with the demographics they get for that show, so make Ring of Honor that. They're filming. They just got out of, like, another story that people are not talking about. They just got out of Universal Studios. That's why they canceled both shows, because of Warner Brothers Discovery didn't want to give them the money for the whole keeping it alive. Their lease on in studios, Universal. So that's a little fun fact. If you guys didn't know that, Tony Khan did talk about that too. That they're working on getting a new deal and possibly start bringing back Ring of Honor over there as tape shows. Ring of Honor and your Rampage are going to be your feeder systems. They're pretty much going to be the new AEW Dark and Dynamite. Or sorry, Dark and Dark Elevation. However you want to slice it and dice that. That's what they're going to do. Or what they do is Rampage just becomes a glorified Ring of Honor show technically, and I'd be okay with that either way. I think that's where Tony Khan's going for, and they're hiring more writers. Guys, if you're not seeing it, they're hiring more writers. Will Washington is a podcasting script, blah, blah, blah guy. They're going to hire more people. They just hired the guy that got fired out of WWE. And if you guys haven't heard, one of the big names that was MLW's big brute guy, they just hired. Because the guy that they fired out of WWE, AEW hired him, got him on board. So AEW is signing talent. You got to give them an opportunity here, man. Again, like, I just don't get the wrestling fan anymore. Wrestling fans cannot be patient and trust in the product, trust in the system, buy in. Wrestling fans are like gaming video gamers, right? We all expect things to be fast, and if we don't get what we want, it's like the Overwatch fan base right now. Like the Overwatch fan base is like a shit show, like a shit show over $30. Have you guys not seen that franchise? Quite literally, no joke, is a gotcha game now. They got you at the door. They got me at the door. $30 for a story mode. They got me because I'm an Overwatch fan. It's just like they're just taking what the mobile phone sector is doing and they're just bringing it over to other games. I wouldn't be surprised if other free to play games do that. Gotcha. Ha! Gotcha. Anyway, moving on. Again, Forbidden Door. We're talking Sonata's IWGP title challenge for Forbidden Door. Hook, his thoughts. But Perry interrupts him and blah, blah, blah. Hook sooner than rather than later. Jungle Hook sooner rather than later. So again, Reese interviews Hook and Jack Perry, who said Summer of Jungle and Hook is in full swing. Perry said he feels naked without a championship gold. So he officially accepts Sonata's IWGP title challenge for Forbidden Door. Jungle Boy not winning that. Just going to put that out there. Sonata's going to win that. Sonata's great shit. If you guys haven't seen any of these New Japan guys, and I know MJF, and I love what MJF calls New Japan Pro Wrestling garbage, right? But look at some of the talent that we've gotten over the years. Finn Balor, Gallows and Anderson. A lot of these are byproducts. Some of them are WWE, but the majority of New Japan. AJ Styles. Like, AJ Styles, like, took New Japan to a whole new level. Shinsuke Nakamura, like, come on now. You know, so, like, I don't know why he says they're garbage, but a lot of the mainstream wrestling talent today wouldn't be for New Japan. Again, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. Like, MJF needs to shut the fuck up and understand how wrestling works. And he'll call me a fucking mark. But I tell him you're just a fucking one-dimensional. He is one. If you really want to go there, MJF is one-dimensional. That's why he needs star talent to make him relevant. That's the thing, to drive ratings. You guys are not understanding this. You're not seeing it. He needs star people to make his promos better. He can't do it on his own. Gets the four pillars. And Britt Baker came out on Twitter and said it. They were the weakest segments of the show for that week. You don't think wrestling talent is not watching our videos? You think wrestling talent is not looking at what we're talking about? You're full of shit. That's why JD from New York gets the shit he gets. I feel bad for him sometimes, but he's a bigger entity channel, and that's what's going to happen. I love JD. JD, shout out to JD from New York. Anyway, we got the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson. Yeah, Matt Jackson. Matt Jackoff. I'm just fucking with you. Hangman. There's Moxley, Wheeler, Yuta, and again, this match was great. As they went off the air. I mean, this was great. And you know, again, this feud's gonna go on for a while. This will be probably an all-in feud. I really hope CM Punk joins the Blackpool Combat Club. I really want to see that, and I want to see him go against the Elite. Maybe CFTR be part of the Blackpool Combat Club. I really think I'm gonna make this wild prediction right now. I'm going to make this wild prediction, and I may be wrong. We start the night with CM Punk apologizing, maybe, possibly being positive, saying, hey, fans, welcome to Chicago. He makes things right. And stuff like that. So, yeah. And then he turns heel at the very bitter end. Maybe he forms an alliance with Samoa Joe and FTR. Wouldn't it be something? Or they all go Bullet Club. Wouldn't it be something? But anyway, that's my review for this week. Like I said, a great show. Some things I didn't like. Some things I did like. The women's division, Tony Storm has an abysmal run just as much as MJF right now. MJF, outside of Adam Cole and maybe a Danielson and a few other things, his run's been okay. It's not like it's gonna be memorable. Outside of two matches, he has the match of the candidate with that Iron Man match. but Roman Reigns does it better. My dogs are barking. But anyway, that's my wrestling review here on all my channels for the night. Again, like I said before, AEW, you gotta trust in the process, man. I really get mad. I really get upset and disappointed when people just want to. It's like video gamers. It's the same thing. They want all this shit. It's the same shit that's going on with the AEW video game. Nobody can be patient. Just because they have bugs and whatnot, everybody's like, oh, this game's already shit. I'm calling it off. I'm writing it off. Ha ha ha. I'm writing it off. It's like, it's shitty to me. Wrestling, these tribalists and these fanboys and fangirls, it's like, geez, dude, like, calm down. Like, serious, not everything is gonna go your way. And if you're gonna give AEW bad, harsh criticism, you need to give WWE the same, and Impact the same, and New Japan the same, and MLW the same, and MLW Underground the same. Any promotion, you got to give the same. If you're gonna be harsh, critical of WWE, then you got to be the same. Monday Night Raw, again, the whole Seth Rollins thing, I thought Finn Balor cut an amazing promo, but who can fucking hear it? Who can hear it? Nobody. Finn Balor, finally, they're pulling the trigger on this man. He needs to be his own thing outside of the Judgment Day with JD McDonough and literally just be cutting these badass promos and winning championships. I can see them as tag team champions, but they're going to keep them in the thing. And also, Dom is impressing me. I hope they give Dom a victory. I hope he beats Cody Rhodes. I'm all for it. Beat Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has got John Cena-esque going on for him. I hope for the love that's all it's holy, they make Cody lose everything. And then in the last couple of months leading up to 40, he gets all his victory and then he beats Roman. But I don't think that's going to happen because the rumor is that the Usos are going to reform, turn on Roman, and then at 40, they're going to help Cody win the belt, believing in Cena. At this point, Roman walks into WrestleMania 40 and wins. What has Cody Rhodes done outside of believe my story? Or believe it's like Tater Tots Roman all over again. It's John Cena for the kids. I'm over it, man. The only thing that's going well for Cody is the children. The children love him. It's the same with John Cena when I was watching John Cena years ago. I said the same thing. That's why John Cena got gifted these championships for the amount he does for charity and the amount that he does for, the stuff. Now, the same with Charlotte Flair. But again, now I'm starting to call John Cena the GOAT of wrestling. The reason I'm starting to call him the GOAT of wrestling next to Roman, well, thank you for the follow, bud. Thank you for that. Thanks for the wave. Anyway, I'm talking wrestling real quick. So, as I call Roman his daddy. Roman is daddy. He ain't wrong. Roman is daddy. You ain't wrong. I love wrestling. Hell yeah, bud. Roman is daddy. If you want to go there, they're going to keep Roman. I'm going to say this, and I'm doing a review for YouTube and stuff like that. I'm also on YouTube doing a quick review of AEW Dynamite, but I'll just say this. Roman goes into WrestleMania 40 and holds that belt, though. I don't see Cody winning that. They're doing the spinning image of Cody, and I get why they're doing it. The kids love him. He ain't coming out of WrestleMania 40 with that belt. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I see Roman holding that belt for 2 more years. He's a ratings draw. Roman is a ratings draw. I don't care who tells me different. Roman Reigns' segments, when he's on television, they're hitting 1.35. They're hitting key demographics. I don't care what other wrestling people tell me. Roman's a draw. They make him money. And I wouldn't be mad. Like, again, yes, do I think Roman should lose the belt? Sure. I got a bunch of Shield merch. Those were the days. Oh, yeah, bud. Yeah, like I said, I've been telling this to people for a minute. Roman Reigns is WWE right now. The Bloodline is Roman Reigns right now. And honestly, he doesn't need to be part of it. The Bloodline can die off. And I'd be okay with that. Roman can keep holding the belt. Well, I said that. Do I think Roman should lose the title? Sure. But with the title or anything, he just is a ratings draw, and that's just the fact. However you guys want to slice it and dice it. Again, this is my wrestling review for YouTube and stuff like that. I'm going to be ending this on YouTube because I do multi-stream and my software allows me to end and do whatever I need to do. But yeah, if you guys are into wrestling, this is what I do. This is what I cover. I cover a lot of wrestling stuff on my YouTube channel and TikTok and things like that. My TikTok, I've deleted all my videos. I'm starting over on TikTok. So you like wrestling, so we gotta be besties. Now I got you. All right. So anyway, on YouTube, I appreciate you guys for stopping, and we're gonna come back with a normal.